All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got your watch list coming in December 12th, 2019, and I got a few stocks are going to go crazy. And, well, the stock market went crazy today. We had a lot of crazy news. It happened really, really fast, which surprised me. We talked about that. We're going to talk about that a little bit here. But the key I'm looking at is individual stocks, and I think tomorrow is a very unique opportunity. One, we are still awaiting the trade war and everything that happens from there. We did hear that the trade deal was signed by Trump and it's sent to China. This had a huge effect now on the stocks, but now too, from the trading perspective, tomorrow is going to be a Friday. I think it's going to be a Froggy Friday, so I hope you guys are ready. But before I get into any of that, actually, I need you to do something for me. If you're actually watching this video, listening, paying attention, you may not want to do this if people are around you right now, but I need you to just take a deep breath in and give me a let's go, baby. I need you to get hyped. I need you in the game. And just be excited, man. Get excited, feel it, be blessed. You are blessed. Hopefully, you guys realize how blessed you are every single day. So I'm glad that you're here, and thank you for watching this video as well, too. So drop your thumbs up on the video. Make sure you're subscribed, and if you don't know, we are live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open. It's the first link in the description, and it's pinned in the comments. And don't forget, please, don't ever forget this. The most important thing you need to do, post your watch list below and let us know what you're looking at. Source that information. It's a good, pretty much daily message board if you think about it. So post it in the comments, or we'll see you in the chat as well, too, baby. Let's go. So let's get right into it. I do have a few keys, but I'm really going to talk about mainly the plays and what happened here today. And I will show you guys, we did another ghetto spread. We did it on Robinhood, so you guys will get to see it. The plays hit, and I talked about it a lot this week. So far, if you've been watching the watch list, we only made 2 plays. We did take a third play today, which I'll go over, but at the end of the day, this week we only made 2 plays. We played the Bank of America. That thing hit nice so far, and then we played the Lululemon. That went up 30% today. That's where it's kind of at, but it's still looking good so far, just in general with how things are shaping up. So there's only been a few plays, but it's smart ones, pretty good accuracy for this week. We didn't throw too many shots out there, but it's now how do we manage them from the condors to now using this ghetto spread again. And I did that one on the small account, so we'll talk about that. But the main thing to look out here for is now coming into tomorrow is going to be the day before the trade. So again, pretty much it was like Sunday in the morning or Saturday night. That is when the December 15th tariffs are going to come into effect that the U.S. has imposed. But now it came out today that the U.S. was going to delay those tariffs, that there was a deal. And this is what I said. And I said this was my biggest fear in a way, or what scared me today, is how fast this move up. I've been saying, I said, it's going to come fast. It's going to come fast. This came even faster than I expected, because right when that news went out, something about it was just digested way, way harder and faster. Even though the volume was big, and you could see kind of even towards the close here, it didn't look as big, but the velocity and everything, that spoke volumes, especially at these levels here on the S&P. So we hit more all-time highs, but it ran up, and then it came down through the day. Then there's more confirmation of the news that, and this is the current status, the bill has been sent to China, and we're waiting for them to sign. So there's a few things that could still happen. I mean, it doesn't mean that the trade deal's done. If it is, and depending on where the market is, considering how much it's already moved up, if there is a trade deal, this could be pricing in the trade deal, and now no one's really pricing in anything future. This is the actual price. That's one area to look at, but it could still fall through. And I talked about this. I said maybe it's just so hard for us to wrap our head around that. Is there going to be a trade deal? It took it so long, and a lot of people think, they're saying, oh, this is a pump, this is this and that, but don't forget, kicking the can is very, very common here with politics, and especially financial markets, especially if they hold a bigger effect. A good example, and this is actually even happening right now, which could also act as a weird effect to this December liquidity, is the vote right now in the UK. So the Labour Party, or the Conservatives, they won, or they're looking like they're leading, and now the pound has shot up. So ask me about this tomorrow morning, because this is going to be important here for the markets. I think so it'll have an effect, because it's creating a divergence between the values of the currencies, and then that could exacerbate the repo stuff, but I don't want to lose you here. So, but getting back to what I'm saying with the trade war and why I'm bringing up the UK, everybody wants to say, oh, this deal's this, and again, and I'm bringing this up because it's even hard for me to say maybe they are going to do the deal. Who knows? But they're kicking the can. This is just like Brexit. They voted on Brexit in 2016. It is 2019 today. there has not been any Brexit. Was anybody in the UK manipulating the housing market? Were they manipulating the stock market? Were they manipulating currencies, gold? No. It's just the nature of a big decision. People are like, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. And it's just kind of a bunch of, it takes years and years and years saying, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? Maybe are you sure? Let's vote. Let's do this. So the initial is the shock, like when they announced the trade wars. But for something to take this long, this is natural in this realm of stuff. So that's what I'm even saying. Watch out for the repos and all that. However, we will see tomorrow. What happens this week is decisive. Watch for the markets to move fast. The key that is going to be here is what we saw today was velocity. If you ever see a big rip like this, even if the volume isn't high, but it's this big of a rip on the indexes, there's going to be an opportunity, and understand how it worked. It shot up for about an hour or two, came down, but it ended up closing here. So this was a great swing trading environment too, to a degree, and we saw a lot of plays go crazy. So that's pretty much it, but watch out for that and push it to the wall. You better be on stream tomorrow. It's going to be a Froggy Friday. Anything could happen at any time. We saw it today. We saw a bunch of news even on Facebook and Boeing, so we'll go over that. Hopefully you have your stream alerts if you're not going to be there, or even today you guys saw the value of everything. And shout out the chat, baby. Oh my goodness, we posted the news video, showed you guys how to get the news. Mr. Hits was so proud of you. I was literally one of the proudest. Like, my mind got blown today, people. You don't understand. The news on Facebook came out, and I saw it on the low ticker. Oh yeah, wait, let us get into the plays. I gotta explain this to you. I'm already into it. I just got so hyped. I love you guys. Really, shout out every single person. I want to see this type of shit. It was amazing. Facebook was on the low ticker. It came out. They had some FTC news, but then I was able to spot the ticker, and by the time I called it out and was looking at it, I put out the stream alert. I'm looking at the chat, and you guys got the news for me. That it saved me a step I would have normally done. And my goodness, I was even slow on it, and now we made a different type of play. So this was one of the plays we made, but that was the news, and I think Facebook is going to be interesting here. And watch this tomorrow, because we want to see, especially now in any of these bullish environments, there's a few stocks we are going to be looking at when it is very bullish and you see stuff come down, that's telling you something. So we really need to pay attention to that. So they had a individual news and they dropped, but it was another type of investigation probe thing. It was that the federal government is weighing an injunction action against them. So again, the key is, and I brought this up, is the news that this has already came up again, a bunch of different probes. Remember the attorney general and all this, the volume was big and the velocity was there. But like I said, we've seen many, many drops on this, especially the first time any of these probes. It was around this time last year. Almost to the T. That was the last time it dropped. So we've seen this before with Facebook, but then anytime afterwards, it's had big drops and quickly rebounded. So that being said, it explains the play that we did. So the key with it, I got a debit spread, and this was a very, very old play I had, but we did this debit spread. Dang, that ended up closing negative, man. But my logic was that it could really bounce. We don't know, especially with the bullishness in the market, if it'll continue. It could easily have just bounced up, but if it was serious, I wanted my hand in the cookie jar, but I wasn't too confident in the play, so I said I wanted to spend 10, 15 bucks max. So I got these till next week. It's a 182, 180 put spread, so we bought the 182.50 put, sold the 180 put, we paid 11 bucks. At one point, it went up to 22 cents. I think it was even at like 30-something. It was pretty hard to get filled on, but that was the first play we did, and that's one I'm going to be watching. And now the second thing here is the ghetto spread on Bank of America. And again, these are just the plays that we did, and as well, and there is going to be a few companies I want to watch coming into tomorrow because they are at pretty crucial points here. And again, with this Friday, Facebook could be one of those on a Friday with this type of news. I mean, keep your eyes peeled, baby, but be smart too. Remember, so far, Facebook, let's see if that play works, but if, you exclude that, or even then, we've hit a good percentage of our plays today. This week, you get to see how, if you eliminate some of those bad plays, it goes a long way. But here's the Bank of America. So you guys remember this trade. So remember, it's up here. There's our breakout we needed. We talked about this day after day, literally since Monday. Or last Thursday. So here is that play. Remember, we did 50 bucks both sides. It's crazy. These were only down like 30 bucks. Someone asked if we have sold those. At one point, you could have got 20 bucks out of the 50. It would have made sense. But again, with all of this volatility, or now let's say that bad news comes out, this could send it down. But again, we'll see. Or if bad news comes from the trade war, it could have plummeted. So we'll see with the liquidity crunch in the trade and all that. But these are pretty much dead. But then we put 50 bucks here, and now we're up 140 on these. So this has that's up 140 profit, so it's worth 190. So we put in 100, we can pretty much get 200 back. That's covering both sides. So you see that we bought 5 of these contracts for 50 bucks. Again, you've been watching the watch list. You could literally, we were talking about this even yesterday too, and a lot of people are like, hey, what's happening? But what we did now is, now that it was up, I did the ghetto spread. So I got pretty much paid now, or I at least got my money back, because again, this is the small account. I'm trying to revive it here. We're going to see what we're going to be able to do here. But the key was I wanted to at least have some money here, because I still think Bank of America could run, but this is the whole account. And two, you want to be able to secure a little bit. So what I thought I'd do, I like this ghetto spread, and someone even asking, this is going to open this window. You guys will see, because this contract has a little bit of time. Someone says, can you do the ghetto spread and then close out the sell contract and let it run up? Yes, if we could really confirm it's going to keep running. So that could happen. I might be open to do that. We should have done that on TLT months and months ago. If you remember, I did something like this. But all in all, we are just going to see. But if you did this, you're in a good win-win position. But now you saw the first 35 calls. We bought those at $50. Now I sold the 36s at $50. So I got all my money back. So I sold 5 of these. I got $50 back, and now what did this do? This pretty much gave me now $50 back in this account in cash. So if I ever needed to, if we end up losing or anything happens, anything changes with this volatility or this big run, I could always turn around and have $50 worst case to finesse, or if we see anything out there. But by owning the 35 call and then selling the 36, with 5 contracts, that's $1 difference. With five contracts, that's $500 profit. So now I could make $500 on this plus the $50 we collected in premium. So the max gain is $550 if it goes up to 36. But then if it drops down here and these expire, max I'll lose is 50. So then it's pretty much I lost on the puts, but then we'd break even on the call. So it's a decent trade, but I'll take it. It's a little bit more conservative, but again, with the size of this account, $500. I mean, hey, not too bad. But we will see. So that was the play we made, and then again, still holding the Lululemons, and those are the plays we made. But as far as tomorrow now, there's a few I'm going to be watching. So I would watch Lululemon. It acted interestingly. And again, we're in the perfect position. We only went up like 30% on that contract, like 35%. So you have $140 out of $300 or $400 max gain. But you see where it's at. It's going to be good coming into it. But the fact that everything bounced up and it didn't really get it, that's one thing. But watch out for them. Watch out any other continuations. You saw Bank of America, and watch out TLT. Again, how TLT, it could even be good on the downside. See where it stabilizes. I'm still even looking for that one thing, a long-term play. But again, with everything following the Fed and even everything with the market and the trade deal, you see if people are rotating and the market's going crazy, people are going to sell off on the bonds. So I'm going to keep my eye out for them. And then lastly, on this chart, or the main ones, I want to watch NVIDIA again. It's crazy. If you guys remember, dude, shout out Mike Tyson. He called that one out in the beginning of the week. It always met my criteria. The $6 thing, that one is up 1,000% now. So if you remember from the beginning of the week, we talked about these 220s. We said Monday, $6 or $7 out the money for $50-$60. It was a killer one, and you guys see even up until today, it was a little bit higher. You could have played it yesterday, but that's a good one. And watch them, because if it is, even though it's already moved up a lot, we talked about this on one of the 11 out of 11. Some of these companies that move up a lot, the contract still might be cheap for a little bit out the money because it's moved up so much. People are going to expect less. So watch out for NVIDIA, and then watch out for AMD as well too. I'm going to keep my eyes on those, and especially NVIDIA, AMD, they went up 10%. And the fact that they're breaking above this high, this is setting a new uptrend that AMD really doesn't do. They should have died by here, and that's what they did every time, and they haven't. So this could be a new trend, good volume, especially this type of volume here at this price is pretty phenomenal. So I like AMD. Next, as far as this, I have McDonald's up. Watch them too, because if they start breaking out, they're going to be important. But I want you guys to notice McDonald's made a move, but you can kind of see HD didn't. HD's following that pattern of McDonald's. Those iron condors would have been filthy at the beginning of the week too. So again, a lot we watched, some we didn't take, but those are very interesting. But notice it didn't really move much with the market. So pay attention to McDonald's, Home Depot, and some of these higher value stocks, especially when they're moving like this, because it's a few key companies and sectors moving. So there's them, and then Log Me In. They had a buyout offer. Again, remember we talked about it yesterday. More data came out saying it was at like $4.5 billion. We talked about it. Right now, at this price, they're like at $83. It's like a $4 billion market cap. They have like $88 million in net debt. So it's like, I think we came out with a average buyout price of like $90 would include the debt, but it sold off. I don't know why. They pay a dividend. I might want to add some to the long term, so we'll keep an eye on it. But that one, that might hit a 10-bar play in the morning. You'll see, again, a lot of these, even AMD too. Remember that 10-bar, that morning, that first 10 minutes, it's going to be very, very important. So watch out for them. Watch UNH. I still like it. Oh, my gosh, that gap. It hit the 2.8. Never mind. I did not know it did that after hours. So watch that in the morning, but I'm going to keep my eye on that contract still. And then Adobe had earnings. They did surprisingly good, but still within expectation. So they could be decent, but I like where they're at. And if there is a continuation, I'm going to keep my eye on that for tomorrow. And then FedEx, They're going to have their earnings tomorrow morning. We'll see. I didn't end up playing it, even though I wanted that play for weeks, so it just moved. It was up 3% by the time I even could react this morning. A little too late. Again, things moved very, very quickly. And then Costco, we didn't play it. The Iron Condors were crap on it too. The Iron Condor would have hit barely in this range, but it's going to be interesting. We'll see how it plays out tomorrow morning and if they have any upgrades, downgrades. But it was interesting. And lastly, I'm going to keep this chart clean. Qualcomm, I know I'm looking at a lot of the chip makers like AMD and NVIDIA. They did good, so it's hard to say why Qualcomm's doing this, but Qualcomm looks really good and the volume was crazy at the end, so I'm going to watch them. But that is your watch list, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you're hydrated, healthy, ready to go. Make sure your head is in the game. Keep your helmet, armor, feet, so you know what I'm talking about if you're paying attention, baby. Be smart tomorrow. Control the plays. If you eliminate a few bad plays, it's going to really bring up the gains. Take advantage of the ghetto spread. And don't force it. Don't FOMO it, man. You've been here before. And if you're going to win or lose, you're just going to get a little jaded to a degree. But don't get too excited. Don't get too daring. It's going to be fun tomorrow. So let's see, man. Hopefully I see you there. Be positive and respectful as always. Keep it up with the news. Y'all killing it, man. The code loves you. I love you, baby. Let's go.